Greetings and salutations, Outsiders! If you have ever wanted Fallout 4 to more closely resemble the former games, you are in the right place. Today we are excited to share several recently released remarkable mods, starting with one inspired by the new Fallout show. This is Select Blaster by Nier. Modeled after Lucy's tranquilizer gun, the Select Blaster can be found in the Overseer's office of Vault 114. So you should find it fairly early in the game if you are starting a new profile. Once discovered, the weapon can also be found in the inventories of enemies and vendors, or crafted at the chemistry station. The weapon begins as a fairly powerful tranquilizer with limited range and a small chance of failure depending on the strength of your enemy.
Pacifism is gross.
Which is precisely why Mir opted for lethal variants as well.
Oh, I love it.
As you should. The tranquilizer can be upgraded as well for those of you who prefer to cling to your misguided notions of human decency. It can be made significantly more effective with the application of ranged barrel modifications. Should you want carnage, the energy weapon variant is for you. It has a wide range of power options that allow you to use it into the upper levels as either a semi or fully automatic blaster. Though Outside would have loved to see a carbine variant of this glorious weapon, he was amply satisfied, nay, elated, to see that Nier opted for optional pro-level drawing, reloading, and unequipping animations instead. As our regular viewers surely know by now, Nier is a tremendously skilled animator, as is evident by the seamless spectacle currently on display. These are available in First, Third, and POW Armor. The appearance of the weapon is a mix of sci-fi and 70s rounded off components for the most part. Barrel modifications can be applied to any ammo type, so you needn't sacrifice aesthetics no matter the firing method you choose. All of the components can be recolored with either painted metals or any of a few stained and unstained wood variants. The color customization is somewhat reminiscent of later Halo titles, according to Outside.
He isn't wrong, but that's my cue to take over, little sister.
Have had a craze gigs?
In all of man's museums and Christian heaven, nothing has more luster than the MG34. I may not be able to pronounce the German designation of this here sexy beast, but that isn't going to prevent me from using it to wreck every Tom, Dick, and Harry on the battlefield. It should be mentioned that this isn't a totally unique version of the weapon, but is a port of the Modern Warfare MG34. As such, you can expect the animations, models, and SFX to be of the highest quality. There are no shortage of modifications and retextures available, probably for the same reason. You also won't find this in the leveled lists. But who cares, am I right? Sometimes you just need a big and bad, beautiful, standalone LMG to play with. The standard version of the weapon requires controlled fire, otherwise it'll bounce around like crazy. Burst fire is therefore suggested early in the weapon's use. Later iterations of the weapon, on the other hand, are insurmountable in their precision, allowing you to cut a clean line across the battlefield. The only other weapon I can ever recall us talking about with the same supreme rate of fire and precision would be the Lati L35, which was an overpowered handgun produced by B-Natmus. That was a more fantastical weapon, though. Nevertheless, this rifle is a showstopper.
It should be mentioned that the latest version of the game doesn't support the mod. I guess that there were changes to the engine and creation kit that caused the weapon to fail. Now would be a good time to mention that rollback patches are available for PC that allow you to use the previous game version, if you accepted the update. Outside simply didn't, because why would you? When it means sacrificing an immense number of amazing mods, both new and old, many of which are unlikely to ever be updated to the newer version. Only last week we featured Palgo Revolver Famming, and there was no way we were going to gamble that away. A weapon that works perfectly with fanning is a much newer mod, the Soviet Nagant M1895 Revolver. This unusual weapon mod has very few modifications, only featuring light and dark paint jobs, a modified front sight, and a suppressor. That said, the weapon has highly impactful custom sound effects. It is also compatible with the fanning mod I mentioned before while using the single-action firing method. The double action firing method uses the F4MV animations. So, regardless of the option you choose, you'll always be sated. This review couldn't be any shorter.
No doubt, but we'll come back around to this one. Unusual though it may be, we have several new outfits to cover, 3 of which were made by Quib. The first is a unique vault suit variant that has a lot in common with the Tunnel Rats jacketed vault suit from Fallout 3.
Not rats, tunnel snakes.
Oh, I knew that. It can be crafted in the chemistry station and has all the same stats and perks as any other vault suit. Even so, I love the added flair and the fact that the vanilla vault suit textures can be overwritten with those of the proto vault suit. Better yet, though, is the fact that it is designed by the creator of Lucy's Vault-Tec backpack, which is nightmarishly small for a survival pack according to Mr.Outside. Fortunately, this is a video game, so he can quit complaining. Practical or not, it vibes perfectly with either the classic Vault suit with its Vault-Tec color scheme and with Quib's new suit in its green and brown alternative color scheme. Obviously. On both, actually. Obviously for both, but hey, whatever. The backpack is located in the trailer outside of Vault 111, meaning that you will either have immediate access to it at the start of the game or can easily obtain it if you've already begun. This gives you an extra 25 pounds of carry capacity, but can be upgraded at the armor workbench. To go along with these, we have another mod from Quib. Who'd have guessed that? This is the Pip-Boy glove.
Pip-Boy not included.
Which pairs perfectly with the Pip-Boy 3000A by the Fried Turkey. You can acquire the glove by crafting it in the chemistry station, after which it can be modified at the armor workbench. It provides more than just aesthetic improvements, featuring bonuses to unarmed combat and reduced scope and sway, should you so desire.
Among other things.
Show a little faith, sister. I was getting there. The glove has 3 color options: black, tan, and olive oil.
Drab.
Outside! Sin is picking on me again.
I believe she was referring to the olive, my love. It is of the drab variety.
Oh.
Thanks, Outside.
A pleasure, my dearest. Though I didn't think to record it at the time, the tan is clearly best suited to the Fallout 4 Pip-Boy for those who prefer the newer look, which is entirely understandable given that the Pip-Boy 3000A does lack certain animations important to Fallout 4, such as the holotape injection animation. That said, several new and old mods do make migrating to the classic Pip-Boy favorable, meaning that many of us will prefer either the green or black versions, which are well suited to the look of the Fallout 3 Pip-Boy.
Ultimately, it comes down to preference.
Indeed.
Got another one in ya?
One more for you, love. Seen briefly in our second Classic Mods video, we have the Minutemen Enforcer armor by Ares the Ram. This is a World War I inspired heavy armor mod with stats similar to the metal armor. It can be found in a few locations across the Commonwealth, but is otherwise standalone. There are 2 variants of this: the Dominator,
Enforcer,
and the Betrayer.
Turncoat. Why do you keep closing your eyes?
Exhaustion is impeding my ability to blink at appropriate intervals, I'm afraid. There isn't too much for me to say about this mod though, other than that it is pretty boss, and is available on both PC and Xbox.
That's all we've got for today. If you enjoyed the mods, endorse them. And if you enjoyed the video, subscribe.